Hi, my name is Heather Clemens, and I lived in addiction for over 10 years. So I think what led me into addiction, I think a lack of support growing up, probably, not being included. I had kind of been everyone's mother through high school. Didn't want to get in trouble, didn't want to do anything bad, didn't want anybody to get hurt or do any of those things. My dad was an alcoholic also, so by the time that I was an adult, I was kind of ready for a break. After my first daughter was born, we had taken her to a party. I was in the back room with a baby, and everybody else was having fun and loud, and I was just at a point where I was kind of tired of being the adult. My kid's dad was like, why don't you just come out here with us? And when they were all doing coke, they were doing all this stuff, and that was never a thing. I smoked weed a lot. You know, I would drink sometimes too, but I was always like, no, I'm not gonna do any of that. And I just remember being so fed up, so like at the point where I was so ready to just be myself and not have to worry about the repercussions of anything going on. And so that night is when I did do it for the first time. And so for me, I knew that this was gonna be a problem because I felt relief. My whole life had been so heavy. I think for once I just felt like somebody else can figure it out. There was a lot of domestic violence in my house, a lot of neglect, a lot of things that were not appropriate for kids to see. My kid's dad was almost always in addiction of some sort. So I stayed and I tried to help him be an adult and, you know, take over his responsibilities as well. And there was good days where, you know, I would make all the food and clean the house and do all of that, you know, and it looked good from the outside. But then there were the days where they would go to school and they were crying, and eventually people started asking questions, and then eventually CPS came in and removed the kids from the house. I was the only one that would go to the visits, and the questions got a little bit different, and I had eventually missed a visit or two, I think, and she said, okay, we're gonna have to start drug testing you when you come in here. And that's when I was like, ooh, okay. I couldn't like get clean enough to go into the visits. And then she told me, like, you either need to go to treatment or we're gonna remove the kid. Like, we're gonna fight for termination, like, now. Well, I don't want that to happen. I mean, it's God, I know that now, but a lot of things happened to where I had no other option. I was really put in a place, that quiet place of like, what are you gonna do? In that moment, like, I was finally like tired enough. Knowing that the kids would be gone forever and I wouldn't get to see them ever again was absolutely the deciding factor in the beginning. Later I realized like, I kind of wanted that for myself too. But definitely for them. The first place that I went was the emergency room. And because of the drugs that I was using, which was pretty much everything, they could not take me there. So then the second place that I went was 601 Frio, which is the restoration center outside Haven for Hope. When he did my drug test, he asked me, what are you trying to do to yourself? And I was like, I don't know what you mean, you know? He said, you're positive for everything on this drug test. Like, nobody just does that recreationally, right? And I just remember telling him, like, I just don't care. The people that encouraged me probably the most in the beginning were the people that were supposed to not be on my side of things, which again, I know now is God puts people. I had a caseworker, actually, which is crazy, and she was very young. She worked with the kids, but then she would also, you know, she would pick me up and take me to visits. She would talk to me about like my self-worth and stuff and like all these things and act very like, well, what do we need to do? I kind of felt like maybe somebody could help me figure this out. The first foster home that my kids were in, the first visit, even before I got clean, I had to go to this visit and their foster mom was there, and I thought, oh God, like, I didn't want to go. My mom was there, you know, it was the first visit that I had seen the kids and stuff. And I remember her telling me that she was so happy to meet me And like, I just remember being like, I don't know why she's saying that, you know? I just remember her saying that she was like keeping all the kids like schoolwork and their artwork because this is temporary, you know, and that she was praying for me and like, this is temporary. We're not keeping these things. I'm putting them away so that you can take it home with you. And so it was nice for someone to think that I could, because I kind of thought I could. Being back in their life was different. I had never parented sober before. They were also super angry, rightfully so. On the other side of things, your kids expect things from you. They see you as this person that can do all of it, and you're not doing it. But then trying to go backwards and be like, no, like I can. And they're like, no, you can't. Also, my oldest daughter, she was the parent. She was 12. So I'm trying to parent now, and she's telling me what's good for them. And I'm telling her, you know, I'm trying to figure out, everyone's trying to figure out what this dynamic looks like. It was hard because I had put that on her, you know. And so she couldn't figure out how to not be a parent and be a kid now, because it's time, because mom's done and this is what needs to happen. I had to really let them go through a process to be comfortable, because she would push my buttons and try to, I think she thought that old mom was still in there. And she didn't believe that I was as good or as nice as I was being. Through counseling and stuff, I mean, I learned that like, just because you're clean and sober doesn't mean your family is ready for that, you know? And so I learned how to give them a lot of grace, that they, like, you know, they're allowed to feel how they need to feel. So I let them be angry with me. But I also realized through that process that, you know, I learned a lot about God while I was in treatment, because I never had a relationship with him. What a church did for me was give me an outlet. And so I had a neighbor that was my neighbor during my addiction that used to get my kids off the bus, and he had reached out to me and said, hey, like, I heard that you're like doing well, and I think you should come to my church. And I was like, I'm not going to your church, it's weird, I'm not doing that. Eventually I was like, well, we don't have anything to do, let's just go. My kids loved it. The pastor was exactly what I needed him to be. I mean, he's like my dad. So, but being there, I just remember being like, I feel like I'm in the right spot, even though I felt like really awkward doing that, because I had never like went to church or did any of those things. But they didn't ask me a lot of questions. But then again, they also did ask me questions. I didn't feel weird to be there, but Taryn would be like, hey, so tell me what's happening. Like, why are you really here? You know? And I remember I could talk any way I wanted with him. I could be real about what was going on, and I could tell him I didn't have any idea what I was doing. And he was like, cool, okay, well, looks like you're in the right spot. Glad you're here. I just wanted to go and just be there. But at the same time, they inserted themselves in a way to where it made me feel comfortable to share and to like keep doing something different so that we could have a different life and not just be clean and be alive. Probably what people need to know about moms that are in addiction, that have their children taken away or don't. I think people think that people in addiction that have kids don't care, even though that is what the action looks like. It's not for like lack of love or care for people. It's just that we don't like ourselves very much. And also on the other side of that, I don't even know if I can say this, but I mean, we're master manipulators. This is the game. Accountability and structure and the word no is very important. Those things have to be instilled in a person that is using, because right now we have free will. We could do whatever we want. And if you allow that person to do whatever they want, then they will. And so sometimes they have to hear the hard answer, because then it really puts them in a place to have a choice. They have the choice to either fight for what they want to do or they don't. When a person has to decide for themselves in the quiet place of what they want, I think that's when people are the most successful. So now, see, I've been clean almost 11 years in August. God saved our whole life. I mean, my mom and my stepdaughter are great, but my church family, which I don't even call them that, that's my go-to. They're the ones that helped me through everything. Any of the hard stuff, when my kids didn't want to talk to me about certain things, well, as long as you're talking to Taryn's wife, Tracy, or their youth leader or whatever, I trusted them to, like, what do they say, like the village, right? I was super comfortable with that. It took a lot of time, but my kids and I, we have a great relationship. My daughter and I, we lead worship together at my church. And we've been doing that for a really long time. I remember somebody asking me, and it was hard for many, many years, what was on my bucket list. And I didn't have one. I remember thinking, like, this is the bucket list. Like, I just want to have a normal life where I go to work and I don't come home and I have somebody that's yelling at me and the kid, like, this is what it was.